The White House had conversations with your Republican colleagues. In fact, the chair of your committee, Devin Nunes, obviously is one of them. He says, though, there is no evidence, Congressman, of regular contact between Russia and the Trump campaign. Now, theoretically, you both have seen the same evidence. Have you seen anything he hasn't, or would you agree with him that at this point there is no evidence showing that?
Well, first of all, there's no evidence that's been even received by the committee. We are still in the process of gathering documents, examining documents at the intelligence community offices. We've had no witnesses, issued no subpoenas. It's the beginning of the investigation, not the end. So we shouldn't be drawing any conclusions about what our investigation will show in terms of allegations of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign.
You're saying he's saying he hasn't seen any evidence showing that is actually misleading, because you're saying he hasn't seen any evidence at all.
We haven't seen any evidence at all. In fact, we haven't had the director come testify before our committee. We haven't had agents doing the counterintelligence investigation appear. We haven't gotten the documents related to the work that they may or may not have done. And part of our responsibility is going to be to oversee what has the Bureau looked at, what leads have they chased down, what leads have they not investigated, how complete has their review been. We are far from reaching any conclusions on one of the core issues that we are meant to investigate. And in terms of Sean Spicer's comments today, I take very strong issue with this. This has not been investigated by the House or Senate. The most you have is a few intelligence, either officials or the Deputy Director of the FBI, making statements that they should not be making at the beginning of this investigation.
He said, actually, I think Russia's involvement in activity has been investigated up and down. If there's nothing to further investigate, what are you asking people to investigate? That's what he exactly said.
Well, and
you find that
I have to say that is complete nonsense. That's as if saying, before you begin the investigation, because you haven't started it yet, you should never start it because you don't have the evidence. That's nonsense. If we're going to do this in a thorough and objective and nonpartisan way, we need to follow the facts wherever they lead and not begin with the conclusion as the White House would like us to do. And I think that to the degree the Deputy Director of the FBI is having conversations with the White House, and there are allegations that the CIA Director did as well, that is completely inappropriate, and I think it not only threatens the investigation, but threatens the integrity of those organizations, and I think they ought to call a halt to that. And I would encourage all members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, including our chair and our ranking members, not to be talking about what we have found thus far and what we have not found thus far, because the investigation is just beginning.